As I was writing a game, I realized that the value I pass into a function returns back the same value before and after. And this keeps on repeating as the image here moves. And because of this, I want to know why the value I pass in returns back the similar value. So I do a little bit of test here to find out in JavaScript, can I pass into a function by value, by reference? What is by value and by reference means? Pass by value is to create a copy of the original variable and then pass it into the function as a value. Whatever you do inside the function will only do on the value that you pass in and will not disturb the value from the outside. If it's passed by reference, you take the address where your variable is created, you pass the entire address into the function and have the function modify the value or the variable inside this address. So whatever you do here will affect the original variable before the calling function. In a VB, when we use a method, we can declare it as a by value. That means the string variable here, you can pass in as a value. If you want to pass in as a reference, you say by ref as a string. In C, you can do this by using integer var. Or if it's an address, you pass it as a reference using the ampersand here. So now I'm going to take this away and try to concentrate on JavaScript. In JavaScript, I've written a testing script here, CSS style for the div. And in this div, I put an image here as an absolute, left and top 155. In this function, it's called pass by value. I have an original variable declared as 100, before and after. So before, I will take a copy of this, before I modify it, and call this function try to update, which is this function here. I pass in 100 and modify the variable here to 1. I'm trying to figure out if it can modify this value. Let's try to click on the button, the run, pass by value. Once I click on pass by value, it calls this function, and you can see before it's 100 and after it's 100. This condition here states that the value that you pass in is just a copy, it's not this original value. Whatever is updated in the function will not affect the original value. And now we will try to pass in as a reference. Instead of using a number, I will use an object. When I click pass by reference, it will call this. Here I have declared an object in JSON format, an array of objects. I will only add in one object here, which is the name, say good morning. I also keep a copy before I modify. Array 0, the name of this is good morning. Then I will pass in the entire object, which is this one. I will try to modify it. After that, display out. Let's try. Run it and say pass by reference. Something happens here. Before it was good morning and now it's hello world. In JavaScript, you can actually pass by reference. The name good morning now becomes hello world. Can you see the same object name here and the same object name after? It's the same object that I created on top here called object before. So what actually happens is that in this try update reference, it changes the object name to hello world. Instead of an object in JSON format, I'll use HTML element. Here I have an image element here. I call it my img, which is this image here. Object element.style.left. I take a copy of this style.left and I try to update it. That means by doing the update, what I did is I try to change the left to 100. After that, I will capture back the changes into string after and display out. Let's try. Now I click pass by reference image. Can you see the image? It has already shifted from here to here. We'll try one more time. Can you see? Original value for this left is 40. And once I feed this into the function called pass by reference image, it calls the try update reference image and modify the left to 100. If I were to modify to 200 and run it, it is here. Yep. What is actually happening? In JavaScript, if that variable is an object, you are passing it as a reference. If that variable that you pass in is a non-object or not an object, you are passing in as a value. This is the rule of the JavaScript. Well, okay, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.